Welcome to BTS Heart. The excitement following BTS's Day 1 concert in Baltimore didn't end the moment the stage lights went down. For ARMY, the emotional atmosphere seemed to carry on well after the show had ended, especially once JIN appeared on a Weber's Live, and TAEHYUNG unexpectedly became part of the conversation. What initially looked like a fairly normal post-concert broadcast quickly turned into something fans were still discussing hours and even days later. The timing alone made the moment feel significant. Fans had just finished watching all 7 members deliver another massive performance, still processing everything from the night, the set list, the crowd energy, the small moments between members that always seem to define a show like this. Then, almost as if the night wasn't quite finished yet, JIN's live stream gave fans a chance to hear directly from one of the members shortly after. But as attention within that broadcast shifted toward TAEHYUNG specifically, the overall mood of the night seemed to shift with it. What made the situation feel bigger than a typical post-show live was Jungkook's visible emotional reaction, something fans quickly connected to whatever JIN had been referencing about TAEHYUNG. That reaction quickly became one of the most discussed parts of the entire night, largely because of just how much history exists between the two of them. A friendship fans have followed closely since the group's earliest years, long before massive stadium tours were part of their reality. Still, it's important to stay grounded here. An emotional expression captured in a single clip doesn't automatically explain the full story behind it. What fans can actually confirm is fairly limited. JIN spoke during a live stream following the Baltimore show. TAEHYUNG became part of that discussion in some way, and Jungkook appeared emotional at some point during the broadcast. What remains genuinely unclear is the deeper context, what exactly was said, why it seemed to affect Jungkook the way it did, and whether the various interpretations circulating online actually reflect what was happening in the moment, or whether fans are simply filling in gaps with their own assumptions. That uncertainty hasn't slowed the conversation down at all. If anything, it's made fans even more curious to understand what they were actually witnessing. TAEHYUNG's presence throughout the Baltimore concert had already drawn considerable attention on its own. Between his stage presence, his interactions with the crowd, and the usual excitement that follows him during any live performance. So when the spotlight shifted from his time on stage to something that felt more personal once the show ended, it added an entirely new layer to what was already an emotionally charged night for fans. It's also worth remembering just how much happens behind the scenes that audiences never actually see. Exhaustion after a demanding show, nerves that don't fully show under the lights, or simply the emotional weight of finishing another major concert together. All of that exists somewhere behind the polished performance fans watch from the stands. Given the sheer number of years Jungkook and TAEHYUNG have spent supporting each other through grueling schedules, constant travel, and the pressures that come with global fame, it's entirely plausible that Jungkook's reaction reflected something fairly simple and human, genuine care and affection for someone he's grown up alongside, rather than anything more complicated or dramatic. That possibility often gets overlooked once online speculation starts building momentum. A single emotional moment gets noticed by a handful of fans. Theories start forming almost immediately. One interpretation gets shared and reshared, and before long, an assumption can start circulating as though it were confirmed fact, even without any actual explanation ever coming from the members themselves. That's part of why this particular story deserves a careful approach, separating what was actually shown from what fans have chosen to interpret from it. Even so, there's no denying just how real the emotional response from ARMY has been throughout all of this. Fans have followed JIN, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, TAEHYUNG, and Jungkook through years of different eras, tours, comebacks, and personal milestones, which is exactly why even a brief, somewhat unclear moment like this one can end up carrying real emotional weight for so many people. JIN's live stream offered fans a small, more personal glimpse into life just after a concert wraps up. A side of the group's dynamic they don't often get direct access to. And that alone was enough to spark extended discussion across fan communities. Adding to that, JIN's own role within the group tends to shape how fans interpret moments like this. As the eldest member, he's often seen as someone who naturally looks out for the younger members, stepping into a more protective or reassuring role during interviews, broadcasts, or unscripted moments like this one. So when he became the one to bring attention back to TAEHYUNG during the live stream, it added another layer of meaning for fans who've watched that particular dynamic develop over the years, even without knowing exactly what was actually said. For now, the complete story behind what JIN specifically shared and why it seemed to visibly affect Jungkook in that moment remains unclear. Fans are essentially left with fragments of a larger picture, a live stream, a name mentioned, a visible reaction, without the full context connecting all of it together. What does feel certain, though, is that Baltimore's Day 1 turned into something more than just another stop on the tour for fans watching closely. Between the concert itself and everything that followed once the cameras came back on for JIN's broadcast, it became another reminder of just how deeply connected these 7 members remain with one another, long after the applause from the stadium has faded.